Okay, waves, question 3, part C. Explain how a student can make appropriate measurements and use them to determine the wavelength of the waves in a ripple tank. So they're trying to find the wavelength of the waves in the ripple tank. They've got to make some appropriate measurements and use them. It's worth 6 marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we've got 6 bullet points, 6 things we need to talk about. Now, this is one of the required practicals. Okay, so you need to have read up on this really. The key thing here, the first thing to identify is that, and I think this equation I think is given to you, is you know that wavelength equals wave speed divided by the frequency. Okay, so frequency of waves. So knowing that, if you can find the wave speed and the frequency of waves, you can calculate the wavelength. So the first thing we can do is we can find, so I might put a heading here, the first thing is I'm going to find the wave speed. Okay, so how do you find speed? So speed equals distance travelled divided by time taken. Okay, now how is that useful? Well, you could use a ruler to measure distance travelled by a wave okay, and you could use a stopwatch to time how long a wave takes to travel that distance, then calculate. Okay, so wave speed I've got here, and I'm just going to help the examiner there to make sure that's how you find the wave speed. How do you find the frequency? Frequency, I'm going to count the number of waves pass a point count the number of waves that pass a point in 10 seconds. And divide by 10 to find frequency. Okay, that would do. It's not a great way of doing it, but it's okay. A better way of doing it would be to time how long it takes 10 waves, and then to find the time period. Okay, other things we could do, and so that's fine though. I'll write a different way of finding frequency at the moment. But once I've got that, I could then put these two values into the equation to calculate the frequency. Do that. I could put both values. Use the equation to calculate wavelength. Now, I feel like that's a bit of a weak last bullet point. So what I might say here is repeat 3 times and take an average. Okay, that's always a good thing to add at the end of any experiment. Now, I might have said here a slight alternative way to find frequency, a better way of finding frequency. You could time how long for 10 waves to pass a point. Then divide by 10 to find the time period. For one wave. Frequency equals 1 divided by time period. Okay, which you did in the question before. So we know that 1 divided by the time period is the frequency. Okay, so that's 6 marks. There's a definite 6 marks there. What I've used here is quite interesting just to think about how I've used headings to help. Okay, and I've used these square brackets just to help the examiner identify which bits are related to each part of the answer. Okay, hope that helps. Bye.